Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Zube here. I'm kind of enjoying myself, so I figured I would share the wealth of me. I'm on a nice streak, and I really like posting once a day. I adore my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. Sometimes I have this fucked up, stupid guilt that you guys watch me like because you feel like you have to and you don't. Why would I feel that? Okay, ready? So first things first, if you're interested in a personal reading, astrology or tarot, my information is down below. And I am going to be doing a general reading, but today I like to do bibliomancy every once in a while. I've said that before. And I pulled out this book. It's called Connecting. Like I don't know. I think I bought it at a thrift store. I buy random stuff at thrift stores. So I opened up to a random page and then picked a random paragraph. And it says, okay, we have meta feelings or feelings about how we feel, which prevent us from stating our emotions directly. This is particularly true when we have strong emotions, either negative or positive. For example, if you feel envious, greedy, or jealous, to name a few feelings that people frequently disown, you might also feel guilty or ashamed about feeling this way, so you keep all of these feelings to yourself. Likewise, you may feel deep affection, admiration, or sexy at one level, but also feel too embarrassed, awkward, or silly to share the positive emotion. It's talking about the shadow. It's talking about the shadow. But having said that, something that has been coming up in a number of readings, it's happened over the years, and it always hurts my heart a little bit when I hear people say it. But before they start the reading, or right when we get into it, there'll be some variation of, well, everything is, but I have no reason to complain, or I'm so lucky, or I'm so, and I understand the being positive thing, but if a person is struggling and they're coming to me for a reading, like, your problems are your fucking problems. This is the place to own it and kind of get that out. We're not going to sit in it. We're going to move forward. This is what I was hinting at yesterday with, like, I like it is what it is. I love that statement. And to me, it is not saying that intending not to change anything, right? But I cannot change things if I won't stand in fucking reality of, like, that's where I'm at. I remember, God, I'm all over the place with this. Apparently I'm excited, but I remember when I was at rehab, and when you're in rehab, most of the time, you're not allowed, the one I was in, you're not allowed to, like, go on the internet. You're not allowed to have your phone. You have, like, no contact with the outside world. And I remember being like, I have to do this. I have to keep up this. I have to do, I have to do that. And I was there for 60 days. It was pretty hard. They were like, you don't. Like, I wanted to be anywhere but at rehab. Like, I wanted to be like, okay, dude, I'm sober. This is good. Let me do regular stuff now. And it's like, no, you need to sit alone with your sobriety, and kind of all of the feelings that you've been avoiding are going to come up. And that's why I wanted to be anywhere but where I was at, doing other shit, so I could distract myself from, like, holy fuck, I'm in rehab. Like, I'm 42 years old and sitting in rehab. That was 6 years ago. I think I was 42. But so the way that I was starting this off is, like, when people are asking me for a reading, it's like, when we're deflecting the value of our complaints, and some of us have very legitimate complaints. And let me tell you, in your own life, your legitimate complaints are valid. When we're doing a reading, I'm not really gonna allow us, because I'm with you on this journey of your own, I'm not going to allow us to sit there and be like, well, that's it. But you're allowed to feel about it. Like you're allowed to have feelings about that. And so when I saw that, that bibliomancy thing, it just really struck me because I always tell people, I'm like, your problems are your fucking problems. And if you're struggling and you're coming to me to get a reading or astrology, most people aren't high on life when they're coming and asking me for help. I think actually there's value in that because there's value in therapy to get you through a crisis. But what I love about astrology and tarot, or at least the way that I do it, is that we learn how to proceed and get somewhere else, or move in the direction of something, but by really being in the present. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to do a reading now, but if you are not feeling like you deserve to feel about your problems, that's wrong. You're wrong. I'll very rarely say that, but you're allowed to feel like things are shitty sometimes. Okay. Lecture over. Let's do a random reading and see where we are. What? All right, this is from like a totally different deck. I don't even know if you can see that. The Cosmic Egg. I pulled this for a reading yesterday and I must have put it back in the wrong deck. It's like the perfect size. It means completion. It's the crown chakra. It's getting downloads, really integrating some powerful lessons. But the biggest thing from it is completion, interconnectedness, which is kind of funny because this book, it's probably why I bought it at the thrift store, is called Connecting. I haven't read it. It's just sitting there for my bibliomancy shenanigans, I suppose. All right. Anyway, Cosmic Egg. So sometimes we just get glimpses of interconnectedness, and relish those while they're there and don't cling to them because they're probably going to fade. I mean, we're not living in 5D if that's in your lexicon. You don't even know what that means. We got the Page of Wands. I want to tell a funny story about 5D. So when I got out of rehab, I had a dream. I had a lot of dreams. So this no internet thing, no phone thing, I continued that to a great degree when I got out of rehab because I was working on my anxiety. I was on a number of different medications for anxiety and stuff like that. And I didn't want to be on them. So I started meditating. I stayed on them for like a year and a half, I think. But anyway, but I would have these weird dreams and it was very strange because I didn't watch any TV. I didn't have a TV where I stayed, but I didn't watch TV. I wasn't watching the news. I wasn't online that much. And so, okay. So I would have dreams and then the things in the dreams would turn out to be real. So this one time in particular, I think I was trying to maybe get a hold of my kids or something like that. And I was crying in the dream to my guides. And at that point I did start having visits in dream time with like my spirit team or whatever, and Archangel Gabriel, weirdly. But so I was crying to them and they were usually they handled me with grace because I was struggling a lot at that point, like with my self-worth and all that. My guides had not become very stern yet. They're stern now sometimes because I can handle it. But anyway, so I was crying and I was like, I just want to go back to Colorado and I just want to see my kids and I just want to be a mom again and I want to do all this and all that. And my guides got really stern and they go, you're not ready. And I was like, what do you mean I'm not ready? And they said, the kids are in 5D and the kids are ready for 5D and you are not. And if you don't know what 5D is, go look it up. I had never heard of that. And I kind of ignored it until one day I was like playing around on the internet and I saw 5D and I'm like, no way, I dreamed about that. That's weird. So I would get confirmation in real life of things I had no idea existed until I dreamed about them. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we got the Page of Wands. We want to play, we want to have fun. This is like, be like a little child, you know. I should look up that quote in the Bible. And then on the Knight of Pentacles, on the external. So the Knight of Pentacles, that's hard work, planting seeds. It's not immediate gratification, I'll tell you that. So it's like, the way I'm feeling this, we have internal energies here and external here. We're doing the work. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is the most productive knight. He makes things happen. And that's because his process is methodical and slow. It's in the 3D, right? So, but inside of us, we've got to keep this spark like alive, this play. All right, what does God see? Yikes, Jesus. That was a lot. Phew. It's 3. Oh, thought there was one more, but we're gonna keep them all. We got the Justice card. God sees justice, balance being restored, you know, karma, stay in your integrity. And God also sees the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. So here we have regret, fear, inner conflict, betrayal. But there's also 10 of Swords, there's an ending. And, you know, they came out kind of like in this order. So we got the 5 of Swords first. That's that inner conflict. Looking back, it's an energy of winning at all costs or being, you know, betrayed. And then the Justice card comes out. But this is up in the God spot. Like God sees all, you know. I have to tell myself that a lot. But then the 10 and like the only nice thing about the 10 is that it means it's like it'll end. There will be closure, you know, but you just got, I don't know. The cosmic egg, we're all connected. Maybe remembering we're all connected to people we don't like. I mean, people that we don't like are really parts of us that we don't want to necessarily own, you know. And sometimes that's really hard to see. Sometimes it's damn near impossible to see. But keep this spark inside the fire. You know, the fire is a spiritual journey. So we have the Page of Wands. Remain as childlike as you can, okay? Remain as faithful as you can, as playful, as joyful. Something I wrote in my journal this morning is remain curious, stay curious. Like, that's an interesting thing to be happening or to be experiencing. When, like, you know, and the Knight of Pentacles just puts his head down and gets to work, like does the hard work. sometimes my human wants to go, what in the fucking fuck? This is all trash. Like all this is trash. I can't stand it. I hate it. But that's when I'm being like the littler me, like, if I can step back and look at me, this is just coming up a lot, like, and observing, like, Teresa is, sometimes I call myself Teresa in my head, especially when I'm being very clinical about myself. But wow, Teresa's really feeling rough today. She's upset because there's just something that she wants that she can't have or doesn't have yet. And that naturally, that's a difficult experience for her. So she's going through some rough emotions, and we'll just let her cry. And stomp her feet or whatever. I don't know, that's how I do it. What helps you guys get through tough emotions? But I want to reread this, like, having said all of the shit that I said. Oh, I didn't save it. Well, I might not be rereading it. I think it was right around. Yeah. Yep, here it is, found it. We have meta feelings, or feelings about how we feel, which prevent us from stating our emotions directly. This is particularly true when we have strong emotions. So that's as much as I'm going to read, because what it is, when we have feelings about our feelings, we're trying to remove ourselves from feeling the original feelings, and what we want to do is, if we would just jump in and feel the original feelings and own them. I mean, it doesn't mean that we express them to the people that, like, were the trigger for them. We want to be discerning about that, but feel them, like, go in your car and feel those feelings. Don't build up shame and guilt and just store a bunch of feelings. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. But when you can feel interconnectedness, and I've been going kind of in and out of that, like, well, all right, we're all here, we're all me, I'm all everybody. It's good. And I usually feel a little bit better when I do that. So anyway, have a great day on Earth. I love you guys. Peace. Namaste.